And again, I want to get into some more of the meat and potatoes of how this all comes together. But we, for whatever reason, don't want to admit that we're a sales industry. It's almost like it's the unspoken truth. We are selling apartments, right? This is sales. This is high stakes sales. There's big revenue behind acquiring that lease. But for whatever reason, we don't want to call it sales. And I've experienced that my entire career in multifamily, especially in the operation realm, is we'll say community manager or assistant, fancy title, instead of just being like, this is a sales position.
It's so true, because if you look at the marketing as a whole, right? Like, I've worked in marketing my whole career. Every single marketing position I've ever held, I was directly adjacent to a sales department. And they taught me the number one thing, my ABCs. Always be closing. And if you don't know your ABCs, then you know nothing about sales, right? It's like you have to have that lead pipeline so you can always be closing. And the funnel is your lead pipeline. So it's like, how can you always be closing? You have to always have leads in front of you. How can you always have leads in front of you? You have to be working your leads, texting those leads.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to get into a little bit of the meat and potatoes of, all right, how does this practically come together? And I want to use the example about, you have a 100-unit property. I'm going to use 100 units. You can apply if you have 250 or 300. We can do some more math after. But what this should look like is, if you have 100 units, you need one lease to move 1 point of occupancy. Pretty simple math, right? That's why we're using 100 units. So if you're at 97, or excuse me, if you're at 92 and you want to get to 95, you need 3 leases. If you need 3 leases, what you're going to need to do is get 9 tours if you're meeting the 33% tour to lease. And if you're getting 9 tours, we know on our side to get the 9 tours at the 25% lead to tour, reverse the math, and I can do 9, 18, 27, 36. So I need 36 sales qualified leads if my lead to tour is 25%. Now I want to back it up one more step. How much should I be spending, Jono? Well, the answer is pretty simple, right? What we want to do on our side is add a very clear cost to conversion. That's why PPC is so powerful and why our strategy kicks the ILS butt. It's because we can add a very specific number to you going to get those 36 sales qualified leads, because Google allows us to tag them and quantify it very clearly, CAC, cost of acquisition, for that lead. So then all we need to do is take the 36 and we need to times it by whatever your CAC is in Google, or your cost of conversion. And all of a sudden we have a very clear game plan that we can come to you and say, you need to spend $920 next month, and we can project 3 leases. When we follow that math and everyone does their part of the funnel really, really well, it's a beautiful, healthy cost per lease. What doesn't get us there oftentimes is middlemen, roadblockers, AI, ILS, some of these things in the funnel that kind of prevent us from having the healthy conversion from one stage to the next. But this $300 cost per lease is, over my career, I still believe, a healthy, realistic target that we still hit a lot of our clients on, that people oftentimes almost laugh at me that you can't do that. We can. It happens all the time. And a big part of that is not having extra marketing spend in places you just shouldn't have it. Why do I hate ILS? It adds heavy dollars to my cost of acquisition, my cost per lease. If I have to include that heavy cost per lease in my final number, if I have 4 leases and I have to have PPC and ILS, it typically does double my cost of acquisition. So I hate it because it's not favorable to what I'm trying to do, which is lease at the lowest cost possible.